36 plus 1. Arena 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 36 plus 1.
Hello and welcome to yet another special edition of Arena 36 plus 1, your political and current affairs program on LINKSTVI Parker. That's right, and Arena, as you well know, caters around or borders around matters concerning politics and current affairs. I am Udwak Daniel, and from wherever you're watching this live video from, it means that you are certainly at the place of LINKSTVI Parker, right? That will be LINKSTV International, right? You can as well drop your comments as the discourse is ongoing right here in the studio as we talk about matters concerning the Nigerian polity with a view to enhancing and getting ourselves out of situational matters that bedevil the society and especially Nigeria. So if you are in Nigeria out there, you're watching this video, it means that you have a sole responsibility to drop in a comment across all of our social media platforms that will be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all of which go with LINKSTVI. That's what it is, right? So today we're looking at incessant kidnapping, and the bottom or the focus will be about the way forward. And we'll be having our guests join us virtually. As we go talking about these matters, the kidnapping issues that's been going on in Nigeria, which is no longer news because we've seen the Kankara schoolboys abduction. We've seen the Jangebe schoolgirls abduction as well, where over 300, students were actually kidnapped or abducted. And now we're also hearing more stories of kidnappings in Nigeria. However, the promise that this administration, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, gave us in 2015 when it came into bear was that the security challenges in Nigeria would be a thing of the past. We're given a timeline for 6 months. But then this is more like how many years into this administration, and we're still battling with issues concerning insecurity in Nigeria. Well, we've had, the change of service chiefs, and that's been lauded by many people, many Nigerians, saying that perhaps it may have been coming a bit late, but then it has come to bear. So there is joys in the hearts of many Nigerians. But the big question is, how is this reshuffling, how is this change of security chiefs been able to encapsulate into the positivity when we are expecting to see when it comes to security challenges in Nigeria? And we've also seen, the body language of the president coming out on, public glare, public TV, to saying that he would not negotiate with bandits, even though some notable politicians and clerics have also come out to, advising the government, saying that perhaps it is high time they began to negotiate with bandits and kidnappers, all in the bid to get them to know why they are in that business of kidnapping. Because, of course, the kidnapping in Nigeria and the abduction, the banditry, is almost becoming, a business thingy right here, where people are abducted by so-called bandits and kidnappers for a ransom, which most of the time is being paid, right? And so the president is saying that he will not go into sitting with bandits and kidnappers on the negotiating table, asking to know why they are indeed kidnapping and abducting people, all of that. But then some have also pegged the fact that to curb the issue of kidnapping, we must look at the very foundation, the very basis for the kidnappings, which is not about just looking at the matter on the peripheral level, but we should look at it from a deep-rooted level, and that would be from the place of tackling unemployment. Yes, the place of unemployment, the place of lack of education becomes the bane of why we are having, these kidnappers and bandits rise on the increase. And this is quite disturbing, because for the average Nigerian, we are living in fear, and we do not even know what next to do or how else to coordinate ourselves into, protecting ourselves, protecting our property, protecting the things that we do, our businesses, and which are the drivers of the economy. As you well know, the MSMEs and the SMEs are the very bedrock and drivers of the economy. As it is said, the private sector drives the economy. But then we'll be looking at some other angle, maybe just a little bit of delving into the very beginning of kidnapping in Nigeria. We'd want to go back to the Niger Delta, the South region of Nigeria, where most of the kidnappings that was done at the time was not about kidnapping, Nigerians, as it were, but it was about kidnapping, expatriates who work in, international companies and industries in Nigeria for an agitation. There was an agitation from this part of Nigeria seeking that the federal government, come to their aid in terms of what was going on in the land. That's talking about the Niger Delta region. But then when we saw from the administration of past governments talking about that of the Yaradua, who is, of course, no longer with us, so rest in peace, by the way, who came into power, he brought up some sort of consensus, sat on the negotiating table, saying that, look, okay, fine, we've understood that your agitations and your desires and the things that you wish or demands actually, very, very straight to the point. They're very valid. Hence, there should be some sort of amnesty for you so that you can drop your arms, and we could also look into how we could, pay some attention to your region and try to meet some of your demands, if not all. But then it seemed as though Goodluck inherited that administration after the passing of late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, and also sustaining the amnesty program, which saw a lot of militia from the South region hand down their weapons and saying that, well, it seems as though you are beginning to respond to our yearning, so there will be no cause for alarm, there will be no cause for taking up arms and ammunition, fighting against the government. And we saw that play down a bit, if not to a large extent, from the southern part and the eastern part of Nigeria. But then some moments passed, and then it seemed as if there was a sort of refurbishing of what kidnapping was all about in Nigeria, as coming from the northern ends of Nigeria, we get to see it starts first of all rearing its ugly head from the place of the Fulani headsman farmer clash. And that was what it gradually began to grow from one level to the other, and then it got into kidnapping and then banditry. Banditry becomes the bane of it. So kidnapping becomes the aftermath of it. But then loads of people are already talking, saying that perhaps the Niger Delta region, for which they got amnesty for, had a great cause. They had a terrific cause. They had a demand that was very valid that they put out there, and the federal government as well as the international communities could not turn their eyes off. And they saw that there was a need to actually begin to start meeting the demands of the Niger Deltans. But in the case of these kidnappings and banditry that began with the northern region, it didn't seem as though there was a rightful cause for such an act, an antisocial menace to the society. And so the place of even holding talks or granting amnesty for bandits and kidnappers did not really come to bear. As some say that this is only encouraging more militia groups to begin to awaken themselves, just because they know that they would be having amnesty in the end and there will be a pardon for them. But pardon for what are the questions? Pardon for what are you agitating for? What are your demands? It seems as though kidnapping and banditry does not really have a face, as it were, in Nigeria. So we could not really decipher what exactly the cause may be. But like I said early on, as we began Arena 36+1, that some have pegged it to unemployment, some have pegged it to illiteracy, lack of education. Some have also pegged it to the fact that there is no sustainability for life. And then it brings to the question, how much worse do we take one life in Nigeria? How much worse is one life in Nigeria? Maybe when we began to understand the dynamics of that question and begin to bring ourselves to answering that question, we would be able to see why we should not continually have some of these antisocial activities in our society. But then, like I said, our guest will be joining us virtually in a short bit as we go talking matters relating to the incessant kidnapping in Nigeria. So we'll just take a breather right now, and when we come back, we'll be talking more on the incessant kidnapping in Nigeria, with the focus being the way forward. Stay. Welcome back to Arena 36 Plus One on LINKSTVI Parker. And as you well know, this is a live video talking about political matters and current affairs issues where you can just drop your comment underneath this video. Let us know what you think about what we have in discourse right here on the platform, right? I am Udwak Daniel, and what we've been looking into are the concerns that border around the incessant kidnapping in Nigeria, especially from the point of view of the way forward, because we've had different, kidnappings that have been carried out successfully in Nigeria. We've had the places of negotiation by the state governments in question and the bandits or the kidnappers, as it were. And we see that, in the news, we had a situation, the one that happened in Niger State, where, the state government, after settling the kidnappers or the bandits, they went to get themselves, more firepower, to continue in what they did, which is, of course, antisocial. But then, could this be the way forward? Because it seems as though the state governments are beginning to join in the charade of settling, these bandits and kidnappers with finances and all of that. But we have a guest who is going to be joining us virtually in the person of Mr. Kevin Fineface. He'll just joining us pretty soon to have this discourse with us on the topical issue, the incessant kidnapping and the way forward. Mr. Kevin Fineface, welcome to the arena.
Hey, morning, Mr. Odrak. How are you? It's good to see you again.
I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're doing well too as well.
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay, let's get on with the business of the day. Now, we're looking at the incessant kidnapping, and of course, we're looking at a place of way forward. We've dwelt on the matters of kidnapping. We've seen it, rear its ugly head in the past few months, and we have also seen the body language from the President Muhammadu Buhari, saying that he will not in any way negotiate with bandits or kidnappers. But then we are seeing a rise in kidnappings. We're seeing a rise in banditry in Nigeria. Why are we still here, even after the president has given a specified time frame for the new service chiefs to begin to perform and for Nigerians to begin to feel the impact of their performance? Hello? There's a Kevin Fineface. Are you there? Okay, we will connect to Mr. Kevin Fineface. Well, like we said, taking you back in time to the fact that many state governments, state governors, beginning to somewhat give wings to some of these banditry and kidnappers in the sense that they begin to negotiate financially to the tune of monies that rise to millions of naira. And this seems as though it is an encouragement for these bandits to continually permute themselves into the system in a very ugly and negative way. Now, we've had different kidnappings, taking place. Now, we are having the targets being schoolboys and girls, the targets being colleges of education right now. It seems there's some sort of mutation that is going on when it comes to these kidnappings right here in Nigeria, especially from the northern region of Nigeria. And the question is, how safe are we as a people, living in Nigeria? Do we have to live in fear, even when we have a government that should ordinarily have our heart, our intentions at heart, our own goodwill at heart? And that's the yearning of many Nigerians. And the place of sending our kids to school, is it a bad thing to get educated? Because when we start having situations where we send our children to school, but they're being kidnapped, who would want to adopt the idea of sending your child to get a formal education? Could this not be an extension of the Boko Haram, or a sort of, how do you want to, how would you want to place it now, a subset of the Boko Haram that is anti formal education and all of that? Well, we have the schools that target. Do we have the necessary or the wherewithal to ensuring that these schools are safe, so that education and learning, which is the bedrock of any society, can continually continue in continuum, such that we revitalize, we regenerate our society, heading to the right course, because education drives the society too as well, mentally, psychologically, physically, socially, however you want to look at it, right? Now, this has been the question, because is this to dissuade parents from, sending their wards to school? Is this to, tell the government that the school is indeed, the security system is porous? Is this a way of trying to tell the government that more needs to be done, to ensure that schooling is, being taken up from the level it is, from the shambles that it is right now, to a place where we can actually boast and say that we as a people, we as a government, we are guaranteeing the both parties, knowing that the lives of our wards are indeed safe. These are the questions that we are asking right here on Arena 36+1. And like I said earlier, you can as well drop your comments right now. Let us know what you think about, the way forward out of the incessant kidnappings that we have faced as a people, as a nation, right here in Nigeria. From whatever part of the world that you're seeing this video right now, there is no exception, as the place of insecurity is not supposed to be limited, to Nigeria. It is a thing that is being discussed globally, but then we are looking at Nigeria, as a place, we're looking at Nigeria as that basis where we can at least begin to curb some of the excesses of the kidnappers as well as banditry, hoping that, with a belief that when we do get it rightly right here from these crimes, we can share this knowledge with the rest of the world, all in the bid to guaranteeing world peace, right? But then, still talking on the matter on ground, the incessant kidnapping in Nigeria and the way forward. Some have also pointed out the fact that we as a people have a social responsibility to reporting anything that we find in the society that is not going in tandem, maybe with the people, with the persons, with the things that we see and all of that, with the structure of the society. Report it out there so that people or the government will be able to be proactive, in dealing with these matters. Mr. Kevin Fineface, are you there?
I can't hear watching. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now? Hello, Mr. Kevin? Can you hear me? All right, we'll just you just stay put, because if you can hear me, just stay put. We'll reconnect to you in a short bit and have your thought on the topical issue and discourse right here in the arena. Right. Okay, so that's what we're still talking about, right? Some persons have come out to saying that there's a social responsibility that Nigerians have or should begin to wear as a second skin, and that would be reporting anything that you find unruly within your home vicinity, within your society, so that the security personnel could actually look into it and, get to remove some of these excesses from our, society and run investigations, all in a bid to ensuring that we have a safe, environment, a safe society. But then the fears also allay that what if after, reporting something that you see that you find strange, within your environment, you become the target. That has been the fear that is spreading right now in societies in Nigeria. Little wonder there is less reporting of, perhaps a crime or issues. Now, another thing is the place of, whether or not the security personnel will be very proactive to, coming at the point of calling them. All right, so if there is an issue right now, an issue of banditry or kidnapping going on, and somebody puts a call to the security personnel, would we have a fast response, mechanism that would allow the security personnel get to the place right on time and do the needful just to protect the lives and property? But then another angle to it has also come from the place where the state governments constitutionally do not have the wherewithal, do not have the power to totally, galvanize the security apparatus of the state to doing, what they feel could be the way forward in stemming, these insecurity matters, in their respective states. And they've called out to the federal government saying that we do not have the total power to do so. And this only points to the place of restructuring, of Nigeria. Some others have also come out to saying that the state governments need to have some sort of be autonomous in the sense that they begin to harness and they begin to also handle how the state is being run, right? From whatever ramification that you may think of. But then there's the idea of having individuals, becoming very powerful and almost superior to the central government also steps into the picture. The place of arrogance, the place of, not delivering, equity and justice also comes to place. And that has been the fear that has been peddled by some, out there. But then, the question is still out there. What exactly can we do as a people, can we do as a nation in ensuring that we combat the insecurity challenges that we face in Nigeria? So we might want to look at the place of community policing, the place of states policing, as other climes have come out to saying that this is actually the way forward, for us to get it rightly when it comes to, nipping in the bud, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Well, we'll just quickly go on this very short break. When we come back, Arena 36+1 will still be on. Remember to drop your comments, like I said earlier, across all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all of which as LINKSTVI. We'll be right back. Stay. You're still watching Arena 36+1 on LINKSTVI, Parker, and this is the arena where we get to talk about political trends and current affairs matters as we update you, as to what's going on right here from this, part of the world. Now we're talking the incessant kidnapping and the way forward. And we have our guest in the person of Mr. Kevin Fineface. Mr. Kevin Fineface, are you there? Hello, Mr. Kevin Fineface? Can you hear me? All right. We're still working on that. We'll just get through to you in a short bit. Whereas that's not possible, we would, of course, commute to having a conversation with you, in another, Arena 36+1 on LINKSTVI, Parker. Mr. Kevin?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, let's just go straight to the point, yeah? Now, the incessant kidnapping, the way forward, what do you think should be the way forward for Nigeria at a time like this, as we are facing a kidnapping banditry crisis in Nigeria? Hello?
But the way forward.
Okay, Mr. Kevin, like I said earlier,
The states and the community.
okay.
So we need to allow for
let's just
community policing. If you notice, the last Ekara school that was foiled, because the school already know what, the student already know what to do, you're able to reach out to the security agency. There was a rapid response. And these are the things that we'll be doing.
Mr. Kevin, we might have to cut you off there because we cannot have, based on the network and all of that, we cannot really have a good understanding of each other. Right, we just want to say thank you for your efforts as well, right? We'll get in touch with you in subsequent editions of Arena 36+1, right? All right. So, well, the little that we got from Mr. Kevin Fineface was the part of the importance of community policing, because from what he tried to say, perhaps would be that everyone knows everyone, so everyone looks out for, the good of the other person. And he also, mentioned a place where the school students are beginning to have some sort of awareness, as there's some sort of mechanism that could reach out to security personnel in the time of crisis that would also aid quick response, as we have also heard from the Ikara, abduction that was foiled, by the way, which would want to say a big thumbs up to the security apparatus in Nigeria for being proactive in that sense, So, having said that, there's a need to also see the fact that there is every facet of Nigeria deserve to have some sort of security mechanism that should allow for easy and prompt or rapid response from the security personnel, because security is an issue that if we got to rightly, it will also identify having international investors also wade into Nigeria and committing their businesses, and without fear that such businesses would not yield the desired, output that was intended from the very start. And we'll also have the small business, entrepreneurs also growing from different facets of the country and contributing to the economy. And it just means that the economy gets better. It means that every individual's life or living standard becomes updated, upgraded, so to speak. But then this is the size of the package on Arena 36+1 today. I keep on stressing the need for you to also be a part of the political trend, to be a campaigner towards seeing that our dear country, Nigeria, indeed meets the goals that are intended for it to meet, right? And these goals will be the need to ensure that there is equitable justice. There is also, a good standard of living, that economically we are standing strong. Politically, we are getting it right, especially with our electioneering process. And socially, too, the discourse would not just be about matters concerning, insecurity, but it should be about matters, that should propel, the nation to the next level. And talking about the next level, it will be the next edition of Arena 36+1. From here in the studio, it's a big, big thank you. Until we come your way again, I am Uduak Daniel. LINKSTVI Parker it is. Stay
Arena 36 plus 1.